Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in to what's going to be a video all about my July beauty favorites. I think we all know the drill here, so let's go ahead and dive in. First, I'm just going to recap some repeats. These are things that have been in favorites, not just last month, but like months before that. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, nothing new here. Mine is in the shade Light Neutral. It's an amazing concealer. Over that, I have been loving, again, the Cover FX Pressed Mineral Foundation in the shade N35. Have been loving it for summer. As a powder foundation, it's not only super buildable, you can get light to pretty much full coverage, but it helps control excess oil and shine throughout the day, and I just find my makeup lasting so much longer, even in this ridiculous Texas heat. And then I've also been loving my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Good, trusty. I've actually even started making a dent in the texture here, which I did not think would happen, but that's how much I'm using it. So those are my repeats. Now onto the new stuff. The first few are from Essence, and it was actually an accident that got sent to me. I applied to try a new mascara from Essence through Octoly, and they ended up sending me a different package. It contained like a new eyeshadow palette and a lipstick and a couple of different things, but the two items that I found myself gravitating towards in there, well, one of which is this Satin Touch blush in the shade Satin Coral, which I have to say, to me, is not a coral. This is closer to like a soft apricot. To me, coral is like a hot orange with a hint of pink. Very similar to another product that I'm going to talk about later in this video, but regardless, this for me has been such a versatile everyday shade. I've been trying a lot of different lip shades and eye things, clearly by what it, oh, by the way, about my eyes, I will have a video on these. It's like a try the trend sort of thing. It's an eyeliner sticker. So I'll have a video on that coming up shortly, but I'll list the product details down in the description box if you just can't wait for that video, but stay tuned if you're interested. Anywho, back to the story. Because I've been trying, you know, lots of different combos there, getting a little bit more adventurous, this has just been a good go-to because it really matches. It's a little pink, it's a little peach, it's, you know, it's just a good mixture of everything. And on my skin tone, this is a good shade that kind of doubles as a bronzer on a lazy day. Like if I just apply it not only on my apples but all the way back, it kind of fakes a little bit of a blushy bronzer kind of look. So have really been loving it for that too. Then next up is a mascara, and this is not the one that I applied to try, but I have been loving it even still. It's the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara, and it is so good at separating and lengthening. With some mascaras, I find that if you go the lengthening route, sometimes you'll get like 5 to 10 really long lashes. They'll just all clump together and create really long lashes, and you have like 5 of them. With this, it really does a good job at separating your lashes in addition to lengthening them. It does less in the way of curling and volumizing, so if those are your main lash concerns, this is probably not the one for you, but it does an amazing job at lengthening and separating the lashes that you do have. So good, and it's less than $5. Like, drugstore, high-end, it's easily one of the best lengthening mascaras I've tried, period, regardless of the price point, but it's definitely amazing that it's less than $5. So really been loving that. Now onto some products that don't have drugstore price tags, but are still so amazing. First of which is a liner from Lancome. I recently in fact, the next 2 products I talked about recently in my 5 things I'm trying videos. The first of which is the Lancome Grandiose Liner. This guy, in addition to having like one of the deepest, mattest, most opaque lines just in one swipe, it also comes with this interesting wand, applicator feature. Not really sure where to go with that, but it's basically this arm that pivots and locks into place so you can create this angle as you go in to apply your liner. I personally find it's helpful in applying liner to my non-dominant eye, like my left eye, because my right hand is dominant. For some reason, when I apply liner, I kind of come at it from a lower angle when it's like a straight, you know, like a brush or a normal kind of wand sort of thing. And so with this angle, I find it's easier to get up above my lashes and just get a cleaner line. It's just helped to make that process a little bit easier. And like I said, the formula itself is so good. It's so opaque. It dries beautifully like velvety matte, and then it lasts like crazy until you want it to come off. You need your strongest eye makeup remover, like whether it's a dual phase or an oil, like hit it with your best shot because otherwise it will not come off. Next up is a highlighter I've been loving. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Neo highlighter in Sahara, Golden Rose Glow, and this made me change my mind about the ombre product that Kevyn Aucoin has going right now. The first one I had tried, I had purchased it's when they first came out, it was the bronzer blush highlight, and on me, the colors just muddied together. I didn't have a good experience with it, despite the fact that the powders were of a good quality. Just the shades it didn't matter that there were 3 in there. They didn't look like 3 distinct shades on me. And so for that price tag, I was like, not worth it. And so when these launched, I was kind of not interested in them, but had a change of heart when I saw this guy on Octoly, and I thought, you know, maybe highlighters are different. Rather than wearing them all at the same time and worrying about them getting muddied, this is more of like a palette where you can kind of pick and choose which shade goes best with the color palette that you're wearing, or a mix of tones that you can wear on your face versus on your body. And that's exactly what it turned out to be. So on the my right here is a frosty cream. Then it goes into more of this bronzy rose gold, and then goes more into just plain old bronzy shimmer. And that's, like I said before, it's exactly what I like to use this for, whether it's using different shades to complement different color palettes I'm wearing, or use I love using the bronzier shade as a body highlight, and then kind of these lighter shades as my face highlight. They're so, so beautiful, and something I feel like I'll never run out of because of how much stinking product you get in here. So yeah, definitely had a change of heart with this guy. All right, now back into drugstore land. This is the coral shade I was talking about. It is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Heroine. I have fallen in love with this liquid lipstick formula. It's so thin. I'll link the review that I have of this down below because I did an entirely separate video review of both this and the remover. But I've been loving the liquid lipstick itself specifically because it's so thin and comfortable on the lips and truly does last, I mean, until you want it to come off. This is one of those products that I loved it so much, I'm now going to buy as many of the other colors as I can. Although I do want to hear from you guys in the comment section of this review video that I did. Some of you said there were inconsistencies in the shade. Specifically, one of the shades that I've had my eye on since I saw this on the display, the deep dark plummy purple. A couple of you guys said that was patchy for you, and so maybe there is some inconsistencies in the line. Definitely let us know down in the comments below, but just from my experience with this, I am now compelled to buy pretty much every other shade because it's so long lasting and comfortable on the lips. I do want to say though, it's not what I'm wearing today, so don't think that it's this subdued on the lips. It's truly a hot coral, less orange than I think it appears here, and has a little bit more of a pinky undertone that I think a lot of people will find more flattering than just a hot orange. But what I'm wearing right now is another favorite liquid lipstick formula. It's the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade Driver's Seat, but this is just a little bit thicker. I mean, the Maybelline goes on like a thin liquid, dries and stays very thin feeling, whereas the Smashbox is more of a creamy mousse. It's very lightweight, but just a little bit thicker and isn't nearly as long lasting. Still comfortable, just isn't nearly as long lasting. So, you know, there are pluses and minuses to both formulas, but the Maybelline is just the one that has been doing it for me lately though. And the last product that I've been loving is actually a hair product. It is the Dry Bar. It's a dry shampoo from Dry Bar, but it's a tinted dry shampoo. So it's in brunette, obviously. And I got this because I was going to repurchase. I love the Dry Bar dry shampoo formula. I run out of so many samples that I've either gotten through like monthly subscription services or as point perks or whatever. I've gone through so many of them, I finally just decided to bite the bullet and buy the full size. But as I was on Sephora, I saw that they made tinted versions of it. So I thought I'd give that a try ahead of repurchasing it, and it's the exact same formula, but tinted, obviously, and I personally love that because the brunette is a little deeper. It's very much a richer brunette shade than I would say I am, but it's not so far off that I can't wear it, and I love it because I tend to get excess oil right around the crown of my head, and so I'll spray it there and I'll brush it out, and in addition to wicking away excess oil and just generally freshening up my hair look, it also adds the look of fullness back there. I personally I have finer, thinner hair, and so I have extensions to combat some of that, but I also just, you know, in general have finer, thinner, flatter hair, and so this makes it look like my hair is so much thicker than it actually is. And then because of those extensions, I can also spray it around where the wefts are, their tape-ins, and so sometimes they get a little shiny, or sometimes they just are a little more pronounced and like lighter. And so this, I can go in and spray this on top if I want to wear my hair up and I don't want to have to worry about those wefts looking as pronounced as they normally are. So yeah, those are really all of my favorites. I'd love to hear more about yours in the comments below. Do we share some similar favorites? Are you trying some new products that I may or may not need to know about because I may or may not need to try them myself? I mean, that's kind of what these favorites are all about, right? What have you been loving? Do I need that? I probably need that, right? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!